So it should have, man. So it should have. Here they come. Hi! Ah, jeez. Alright, time for a walk. Let's go get ourselves some. Ah, shit. Fuck. I actually shot the shell there. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. The annoying thing with the shotgun is there is a tiny window of like a couple of frames or so where the gun gets shot, but it doesn't actually fire. And if you get hit in between this window, the shot just it never happens. Like, it counts against you, but it never actually gets fired. It just disappears into the ether. Really fucking annoying. Hunters have a very annoying tendency of finding that gap as well and just make your life miserable. So, yeah, that's not fun. That can definitely happen, so be careful of that. But when it's one hunter, it's like, it's not terrible. But it's more, you have problems. Right, here's the MO disc. We need to turn the light on before we can do anything in here. Here we go. Pick up some goods. We have Magnum rounds. Full metal. That's good to know. As opposed to those plastic Magnum rounds that have been going about recently. Here's the first MO disc hidden inside Spencer's office place thingy. Anything else? I feel like there's something else in here. Is that it? Yeah, no, I can believe that. Guess that's just it. It is for us here. There's just nothing much. I think there's more in here than Chris's run, if memory serves. Could be wrong. Yeah, bazooka's definitely the way to go against the hunters for sure. The shotgun's not a great weapon for them, sadly. Just isn't. Right, first priority is to just get inside. Sup? Yeah, these guys still take rocket shots. They're like, whatever. There we go. Yes, the gold bar has gone up tremendously over the course of this stream. Thank you so much, everyone. You're all very, very crazy people. Thank you so much. Right, so we're gonna try and just get through here, and then it'll be time for a bit of story. Various weapons and goods for us in here. We'll be needing all of these. Don't be mistaken. We need the goods here. We're about to have a bad day. We'll take that. Drop some various goods off. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and load up the acid rounds here. What do I want to take weaponry-wise? Probably Beretta in the bazooka? Probably? I think so. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Let's go ahead and drop that. We definitely don't need the ammo disc for the time being. This can be dropped to wherever the shotgun is. Oh, this inventory is just so... Oh, it just looks so horrible. Who made this inventory? Good grief. They have no concept of how, like... Oh, it's hideous. It's fucking hideous, everyone. Right, let's get the bazooka back wherever I've put it. There, that, and that. And we should probably save the game. Yeah, acid rounds are pretty good against them. Explosives are alright as well. The flame rounds kind of don't really do a lot in this game. This is what it is. You're meant to use those if you need to against Plant 42, obviously. Yes? I think? Yeah, Black Tiger fight as well. You're also good for that fight too. Make a good point. I should probably keep both points of health on me here. Because I know what's coming. I'm just gonna go quickly get myself a drink here, so I will be a second. Yeah, this is music that inspires or instills, to say, fear and terror. Yeah, anyone that's heard it before, because when you hear this music, you know shit's going down. It ain't much better on the other side of the mansion either, to be fair. It is no good. Do I have enough weaponry for this? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm an expert. I've played this game before. I can't die. I'm on the cider, by the way. It's going to be needed in a moment. We have some stories to talk about, and they're not all good ones. Right, it is time for a walk. Hello, sir. He is not dead, everyone. That's... I'm not happy about that. That did not go. Shoot. There is a hunter back here, I think. Isn't there a second hunter around here? I don't even remember. Whatever. Let's get out of here. Alright then. I haven't used the lighter to get hold of the map. It doesn't matter. Here we go. Ow. Something nasty bit me at some point. These don't have massive holes going down my chest, so I guess that's good. Moonlight Sonata? Not quite. But it is revenge time! Now this is round 2. Now unfortunately in this boss fight, of course, there's no boxes to hide around here. This is just basically kill or be killed. Oh dear. That's not gone well. Shit. Ah, that's painful. I hate when he goes in this low profile. It's kind of annoying. How hard he hits! I'm dead. I'm so dead! Oh, we got him! We got him with the handgun! Holy fuck! We should so be dead. Wow. Wow, we'll take that. Oh man, that is a result, everyone. Good stuff, considering I missed an acid round as well, but that shit hits him a lot. Yikes. Just tell him.
Have you found anything interesting?
You see what you're walking on, buddy?
Yes, but I can't see very well.
How about going down to check by yourself? I have a rope here.
Oh, do you? Well, then I'll try to go down using the rope.
Wait.
People were paid for this audio, everyone.
Hey, what's going on?
Now I've done it.
Now I've done it. Sorry, Jill. Wait. I'll go and get another rope.
Barry? Barry?
So you are definitely not obliged to wait for Barry. You can definitely move on with your life and just carry on, basically. But if you do wait, he does eventually come back, which is a surprise. By the way, here's your prison, by the way. It is for Full Metal Prison. 1993 to 1994. I don't know what that means. I got nothing.
Hey! Are you there, Jill? Grab the rope!
Grab the rope! I mean, his like voice completely changed halfway through, but whatever. It's fine.
I'm sorry, Jill.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Sorry. I was really careless.
Are you okay, Barry? Maybe you're getting tired.
No, I'm all right. Don't worry. Jill, I found something.
You get some extra goods. I don't think you have to have Barry to help you to come back with the rope to get the good ending. I don't think. This is how you get hold of the pass number. Barry will give it to you. So if you carry on, you'll never get the number. But it's like, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to enter it, but just having the file is good enough.
Thank you. I'll take this then.
Is he? I don't remember. That's a good part of that speed run then. Just standing around for 30 seconds doing nothing at all. Now, we are going to understandably pick up some health items before we go down into the depths that is the basement. So, just let me go ahead and pick up some goods. And we'll make our way down. So, I did say in the update video, I was going to talk a little bit about, like, the origins of this channel and why it exists, which I do intend to do. Again, it's part of the reason I've busted out the cider. It doesn't make for the best of reading or listening or speaking, whatever else. So, yeah, we have been beating the absolute shit out of that fight. Let's go ahead and load on up with some assistance. I don't think we're going to need to take help with us. And inventory is, like, really awkward here because of the way this works. So I think I'm just going to run with that and just hope I'll be fine. We should be okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like, sure, whatever. So the story of this channel, we've got to go back to... Where is it really? So obviously the channel's been up for 10 years, but you got to go a bit further back than that for like the origins of this channel. I think the story of this begins probably around like 2005, 2006 maybe, somewhere around there. I'd say probably somewhere around there.
I suppose I should thank you.
Very much for the hosting, Con. It's appreciated. So yeah. We gotta go back about then. This is about the time I was in sort of like the middle of secondary school, as it's known as in this country. I don't know what grade that is in the States, but like when I was around like sort of 13, 14 years old, whenever that was. So unfortunately I was in one of those situations, one of those sort of school groups, as it was back in like the early 2000s. You generally had two groups. You had the cool kids, and you had the smart kids. There wasn't very many people who, unfortunately, kind of breached across those lines. There was maybe 2, maybe 3 I could think of. Right. Over my time that was spent there. We are gonna just have a war here. Yeah, there's so much shit in here. Ow. Careful they don't stun lock you, because they'll do that. Fuckers. Okay, so we have a problem. Storytime's gonna have to wait here. Oh, I made it to the door! Okay. Recently, yes. I wanted the goods that were down the back there, but I guess they're going to charity now, so that's good. So, as I was saying for our reading, so yeah, so our story about 2005, 2006 begins. So, I was one of those kids at school that, you know, the academia, I'm not trying to gloat or anything, I'm just saying how it was. The academia of it all wasn't particularly difficult to me. But unfortunately, because of that, as is the way with schools, there are groups of people who don't appreciate that. And, you know, ultimately, you know, for whatever reason they so see fit, decide that that's just kind of not acceptable. I wanted these shells, because we are actually kind of light on weaponry, so I'll take the hits now. We can recover later on. Fucking piece of shit. You want to try and dive down the other side of them, but I just couldn't do it. Let's get out of here. So the reason I played something when I was about 13 or so is because the problem I had, and I started noticing it was around then, is something that has plagued me from time to time, is kind of it doesn't even care. Please, thank you. It's because, like, you know, doing studies, that sort of stuff, was never particularly difficult to me. You know, I kind of did my stuff, and, you know, it was all well and good and lovely. But the problem is that I started getting to a point where it's like a malaise sort of starts setting in. I don't know if, you know, I think that's maybe the best way to call it. And it's just like a point where, like, I could do it. Like, I detested homework. I've always hated it. Like, I think it's a con. I get the idea. Here's the oven, by the way. It's not working, sadly. Here comes Ketchup Man. Well, it's not Ketchup Man, it's something else. But anyway, so it was at the point where, like, school was, like, fine. And to be fair, the last couple of years in secondary actually weren't all that bad. But unfortunately, because of the way things were, he's hypered some, by the way. Like, I didn't particularly enjoy, like, I did alright at school and all that sort of stuff, but I can't say I particularly enjoyed. I have no memory of this, like, staggering ever. I have no memories at all, but okay. We'll kill this guy now. Worth noting, you fire faster, by the way, and you're aiming down. That's the thing. But yeah, I hate doing that. Anyway, so it was about this sort of time, because, like, I remember, like, I was, you know, out in Altney, once I did, like, all the GCSEs, like, I got C+ in everything, which is, like, great. And I had everything intended out, you know, I was gonna go do sixth form, you know, college, whatever the hell else, for a couple of years, take a year out, and then probably go to university, and then go from there, and we have problems. I don't remember there being all these dudes here. Holy shit. No worries, man. No worries. We're not going to be doing any clips for a little while anyway, so I need to get in this door immediately. There we go. But it was about them, I think, sort of the malaise started to kick in. Of, like, kind of... Like, that was what I wanted to do. But, it didn't quite... Things didn't work out, folks. For a lot of reasons. As I say, kind of... I started kind of, like, just coasting through the last year or so of secondary. I still did well enough in the exams or everything, but it wasn't quite the same, you know. Thank God it went down there. And the problem I had as well is I have a history of, especially when it came to school, of my circle of people that I knew and, like, kind of associated with in school was very small and limited. And that's just the way it was. And although, like, I look back now and I realize there was probably opportunities to try and change this somewhat, towards like not the last year or so. The problem was by that point, I was already so like absolutely kind of just jaded and felt so like kind of isolated from everyone, from all that sort of thing. It's like I just didn't really want much to do with them, and it just didn't really happen. Now, if I had the opportunity to be like 13 or whatever else again, and like make different choices, 100% okay. He's dead. That's good. We'll take the scrapbook here. But it's just the way it's been. And to be fair, that's the way it's been generally for the majority of my life. Like, I have no issues particularly in, like, meeting with people. But it's just not really something that I don't really go out my way to do it. You know, as people sort of move in and out of my life, then great. And I like to think I get on with more people than I don't. Except I don't get along with everyone. Not everyone enjoys me as who I am. But to be fair, who I am now is, like, a world away from what I was, say, 10 years ago. Like, I'm just, like, a completely different person. But I'll get them all later. So we go forward through in secondary. I do all my stuff there. We have some unfortunate issues in sixth form. The first year just goes completely to hell. Unfortunately, the place I went to do sixth form was basically my old school. The problem was is that it changed everything. Premises, building, loads of stuff in between. I went to do like maths and sciences and that sort of stuff. The problem is that the building wasn't actually ready to do sciences. And so to do science, I had to go to the neighboring school over the road, who of course had learned of completely different calculus, and as such, they were basically going into advanced stuff on things I'd never even heard of. And there was a couple of us there, and we were basically fucked. And we were kind of set up to fail by our own school. They didn't try to set us up to fail, but that's what occurred. I always remember as well, the Fridays were the worst. So, shit. I just didn't react quickly enough there. I'll go around. The Friday... Wow, we're in trouble here. We might actually die. It's just the way it went, you know. It was not very well planned. How am I not going to die here? I think we need to run for the lift and just go back the way we came. We're in a shit spot here. I might... Fuck me, what do I do here? I need to work out my way out here. Hold on, we might be dead. We got a sprint. I think there's hunters even above us here. We may have to go all the way back the way we came here. Like, through the basement. It's a really bad spot we're in here. Really, really bad spot. So I think we have to retreat all the way we came through. Because the rope is there, so we can do that. I think that's our only logical play we can make here now. Which is what it is. So the first year of sixth form went to hell. And the problem with that is I was already at a point of, like, I was kind of doing what I was doing. Where's all the zombies in here? They just despawn? Strange. And I end up moving to, like, somewhere else to go to college, down to Bletchley. To be fair, actually, I kind of enjoyed my time in doing college. It was a lot more laid back as well. Sixth form was, you know, it's like you've done all your main exams and you're still having to go in at 8:30. And even if you don't have classes, it's like you're still having to be there in the building doing fuck all, basically. And it was just, like, really, really horrible. It was a terrible year. In that respect. Like, I was just, like, so mentally checked out of so many things. It sucked. So we go to college, I got a lot more freedom, which is good. It's something I needed. But I kind of more or less enjoyed my time there, and we did all right. And things were going pretty well, actually, in college, you know. The science were going decent. I was able to carry on my history. That was great. I was doing as well. Lots of good stuff. Then we get to the spring of... What year was it? What was the year? I think it was like 20... Fuck me. It must be like 2009? 2010, I think it was. I think it was 2010. Going by the rough timings. No, it must have been 2011, actually. So we go back to 2011. We're talking like the very beginning of 2011. Well, I just sort myself out here, so give me 2 seconds. So 2011 obviously is the year where the channel started. And that's great, you know. The channel starting was a good thing. But again, the question is, well, what exactly caused it to start? And it didn't start from very auspicious beginnings, is the way it worked out. So, about... It must have started about, like, late 08, probably beginning of 09. Beginning of, like, 2009 or so, I got into a bike accident on a bicycle, and I fractured my right elbow. Wasn't very fun, and I would definitely suggest that if people can avoid fracturing your elbows in bike accidents, would strongly suggest that you try and find ways to avoid having that happen to you. It was my own fault. I was going too fast, and that sucked. You know, it was my arm was like in a sling for like 3 or 4 weeks or so. Now, for reasons that I'm not going to get into specifics of, that basically ended up leading me into like my first relationship. And it was with someone who lived up in Scotland, because I was sort of getting into the internet. And I've been doing bits and pieces on the internet as well and kind of learning how that works. And, you know, someone that I had known for a little while anyways, not long after I had that, basically sort of approached me on the internet. I knew of them, and they basically said, you know, I'd like to get to know more. And I was like, great. You know, that sounds wonderful. And to be fair, it was alright, you know. We enjoyed, you know, messaging, whatever, because this is like back in the days of like, you know, this is before face calls exist, anything like that. This is like, you know, on Skype messaging services. This is 2009, 2010. This is a different world to what it is now. Like, you know, it's just a million miles away. And that's all well and good. And it's one of those things where, like, I didn't know too much about things. Like, I'm about, like, what, 19 or something at the time. It's not really something I've ever really particularly delved... Yeah, MSN, that sort of thing. It's not something I ever really delved into because, like, again, going through the back end of school, I was basically of the stance of kind of, like... That's a way of putting it. I was kind of like, fuck everything, really. I had my knit for people that I knew, enjoyed my company with, but outside of that, my stance was they didn't really give a fuck about me, so why should I really give a fuck about them? And that's kind of how I lived for a while. And then this sort of came apart. And, you know, it was good. It was something... Fuck, I was hoping I was going to go beforehand. Oh, there's the one shot. That's nice. We need to clear this whole way out here. This is going to be an important hallway for us, so... I don't want to take the bottom route. That route sucks. Stop fucking fuckers. I want to save the, I'm desperately trying to save the freaking acid rounds here. But I think I'm just going to use these. Fucking hell. This is a war, everyone. Hold on, we gotta deal with this situation. Fuck's sake. I guess unless you point blank them. Did he just hit me with his foot? Really? What the hell, man? Christ almighty. So, yeah. That was basically my stance on things. You know, I didn't do, like, clubbing or anything like that. I wasn't... You know, only people I knew, we go. You know, if I go in the house, it was like for gaming or maybe the odd sleepover. It was mainly game related. I didn't do clubbing. I didn't go around like drink parties. You know, it's a world I didn't get involved in. You know, nothing like that. It just wasn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't like nerdy or anything like that. But it's just like I knew who I wanted to associate with, and I knew who I didn't want to associate with. And it was ultimately a fairly lopsided sort of situation. And that's just the way it goes. I don't know if I'd say I was laid back. I was more kind of like quietly bitter, I suppose. I felt pretty slighted for a lot part of my time, you know. And there was a lot of it I just didn't really care for. That's just the way it was. I know, right, Stone? Ridiculous. Let's just go around the back here. Thankfully, it's just spiders here. Sigh. Not happy. You might be dead here. This is another triple hunter hallway, by the way, everyone. It's fucking outrageous. Fucking outrageous, this. There are so many goddamn hunters in this place. It's absurd. Fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, 2009, 2010 rolls around, and I get into my first relationship, and it was like, I learned a lot about myself throughout it. Like, I was kind of, you know, kind of feeling out what was going on in the process, and, you know, it was nice to, well, it's one of those things where it reminds me of Shawshank Redemption, one of my favorite films of all time. And I remember with, I forget the guy's name, the old guy, the librarian, and I'm sure someone will tell me his name. I've completely forgotten off the top of my head. Can't 100% remember. I remember there's a line he talks about, sort of not far from it, because obviously he cares for like this bird. And it comes up sort of at the end about like, you don't really notice like how some birds just aren't meant to be caged up. He was obviously talking about Dufresne and stuff like that. Or it might have been Red said that, I don't remember. Brooks, that was the one. And I kind of had a similar situation. Because, you know, you don't realize sometimes how much time you end up spending and, like, devoting to just talking to someone. Just messaging, you know, and just messaging backwards and forwards. And it's something that came up to me kind of out of nowhere, and I didn't expect, but it did occur. And, like, man, we are actually really bad on ammo here. This is pretty terrible. I need to stop fighting stuff. But yeah, it's like I didn't realize at the time.
Lycans and gentlemen.
Realization at the time. Howdy, Pete. How you doing, man? No, we're playing. This is EPSSE. This is the original. This is the original version of this game. For the PlayStation 1. I could have played Source next today, but I didn't particularly fancy doing so. How are you doing though? Regardless, we should probably take the first aid. We are in a spot above it here, I'm not gonna lie. We have taken a lot more damage and used a lot more weaponry on the lights. Could have just been kind of casually just fighting everything. Which you're not really meant to do in this game. Pick up the medal. I might save again here, actually. So. So that's happening, and, you know, it goes on for, like, you know, messing each other backwards and forwards for a little while. And then it comes to February of 2010. And we basically decide to actually, you know, meet up after, like, basically, you know, speaking each other backwards and forwards for a good, like, 6 to 8 months, I think it was at that point. Now, I lived in the heart of England. In Scotland, that was a problem. But I figured, what the hell? And so I went and I booked a train to go up to Scotland. To go over there for a couple of days, and we chose the weekend it was the Valentine's Day weekend, because it seemed, you know, when you're 18, 19, you take the cheesy options. It's like, oh, it's Valentine's. It's when you do it, right? So, of course, that's what we went to go ahead and do. And that was fine. So I go up there, and it's like, I didn't know what I was expecting when I was doing it. You know, it's like I didn't know what to expect. And yeah, I was definitely nervous. Like, I'd never done anything like it before. It was like completely alien to me. And being honest with myself, like, my heart wasn't quite in it. I didn't think I was quite ready for it yet, for that sort of thing. Like, I just wasn't really ready for it. But I said to myself, you know, you might go there and, like, maybe your mind might change. And even if it doesn't, you know, you're still going to learn a lot from just being up there for 2-3 days and being in that kind of situation. And you'll learn a lot of things. And I did do. I learned a lot. It didn't end very well, unfortunately. It was kind of, you know, we kind of went there and we both kind of mutually agreed it's like, this just isn't going to work, which was, you know, it was sad. I came back, I was pretty upset. The worst part of it was, because it was the Valentine's Day weekend, I obviously go into college on the Monday, and the Monday is actually Valentine's Day. So after having been, like, first relationship for, like, sort of 8-9 months, I come back late on the Sunday night, and I've got to be in college first thing on the Monday, and it's Valentine's Day. And it's like, I'm already kind of like, crushed, like, it's kind of gone that way. And I'll always remember two things. This story does have a point in it, by the way. There is a reason behind this story. I remember two things. I remember going to history class, being pretty depressed. I'd spoken with, like, a lot of the girls who were in the history class. It just happened to be mainly that. They knew I was going up to Scotland that weekend for that. And I came back and obviously told them that it didn't work out. And I always remember one of them, I forget her name. I don't remember. It might have been Holly or something like that. Really, really sweet. She basically, like, said to me, do you want me to be your Valentine for the day? You know, to cheer me up. And she, like, you know, did, like, the whole on the you know, make the heart and, like, M plus whatever. And it was really sweet of her. And I really appreciate it, because I was not feeling too good at all that day. So that was really sweet of her. Ow. The other thing I remember, which is something that she couldn't do anything about, was at the very end of the day, we had to go into form class for like about 30-45 minutes. And unfortunately, what had been going on throughout the day, and I knew had been going on throughout the day, was that people had been basically writing secret Valentines to each other. I always remember going in to the end of the day, having gone through like 6-7 hours of feeling pretty shitty, and having to sit in the form class for half an hour listening to the teacher reading out all these secret Valentines that people have been sending to each other, having just broken up my first relationship the previous day. There's a couple of guys I knew in the class, and I remember, like, I was just sitting there about as depressed a human being could probably be. That didn't work out very well. I always remember there was this moment where I just had my head down on the desk, like, almost the entire day, like, the entire time. And I remember I looked up, and I looked to my right, to, like, my friend. I forget his name. I don't remember it now. And at the exact same time, and I know for a fact, at the exact same time, he looks at my direction and just turns my head, and we don't say anything at all. Like, nothing is said. And I look at him, he looks at me, and he just frowns. Craig was, I'd known him for a while, but he wasn't around for college. Someone completely different. And we just look at each other, just forlornly. And I just turn around, I just put my head back on the desk. And I'm just trying to block everything out. I'm just, like, so depressed at this point. It's like, how could God forsake me in such a manner? Cruel and unusual punishment is what it was. But hey.